The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. Hey, it's time for the Low Fact Podcast. We need a manlier bell or a gong.
Or a horn. Honk, honk.
Yeah, like in the old timey cars that sound like a goose.
By the way, what's your favorite Sean Connery movie?
This is like a week after he's gone, though.
I know.
I don't have one.
I was like, but it was today, so I'm sad.
I like most of the James Bond movies that he was in.
Yeah, I like Highlander.
You would like that movie.
It's a great movie. But I think it's sad. I mean, he had a pretty good life, 90 years, but still.
It's not exceptionally sad.
It is sad.
I think any death's about as sad as his death.
But he was, like, iconic.
Dude, he went out the best way you could. The second best way.
It's like restfully in his sleep surrounded by his family.
I don't know if he was surrounded by his family, but
That's what they said.
Okay, so he died in his sleep. I think that's the second best way to go.
And he was in the Bahamas, too.
Well, shit, I don't know why you're sad about it. I mean...
But still, it is sad. You don't get the sadness when it's somebody you know from movies and things like that.
Well, no, because it's not somebody that I know.
Yeah.
Me knowing of their existence is not the same as me knowing them, is it?
No, that's true.
They got to know of my existence too. And from the way you describe it, his death was actually pretty luxurious.
Yeah.
And, painless.
Yeah.
That's the way I want to go. Painless.
What's that joke?
I want to die peacefully in my sleep, like my grandfather, not screaming in terror like his passengers.
I like that stupid joke.
I do too. It's one of my favorites.
So you can't name a favorite movie, but it's the James Bond probably.
I like
his role.
I liked his role.
Wait. What about the Presario?
Presidio?
The Presidio, yeah.
Presario.
You know what I mean.
Sadly, I do.
The Presidio with Mark Hamill.
And Meg Ryan.
That was a pretty good role.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a crappy movie, but yeah.
I mean, he did some crappy movies.
Oh, he did a lot of crappy movies.
Who doesn't do crappy movies?
Nobody that has a long career.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have some crappy ones in there.
Well, you can't just have the hits. I mean, that's like life, right?
Hunt for Red October.
Okay, I like that one a lot.
That's got to be up there, right?
I admit I like that a lot.
Yeah.
The Scottish man with a brogue playing a Russian man. That's
what is this? Vasily. 2 pings. One ping. Damn it!
I really think you should stop while you're ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to talk about Sean Connery because it was today.
Okay, so now you guys will know how long it takes us to beautify these. Mm-hmm. And you're still going to be disappointed because we don't really do that much to them, do we?
And God knows. I mean, who knows what will have happened in a week with all the stupidity that's going on.
Well, we will definitely have another president.
Not definitely.
Sure, whether it be the same president reelected.
They might not know. It might not. They might. I mean, so you think they'll know?
Yeah.
You think it might actually be quicker, I suppose, with all the voting that's going on.
They should know. Look, because they're
counting now, right?
Well, they're not supposed to.
They must be.
But there's been early voting, mail-in voting.
Something like they were saying.
Some places there's been voting going on for a month.
They said on the news there's like already 89 million votes that have been cast.
Right. So, yeah, they'll know. This whole bullshit about, there'll be these ballots coming in and
we won't know for weeks.
Come on. To quote Mr. Biden, come on, man.
Come on, man.
No, because, look, there's been voting going on for the past month in some jurisdictions. Yes, the Supreme Court has had to weigh in on certain laws. My favorite was one sitting there saying, well, how come in Wisconsin you can't take after a certain day, but in Pennsylvania they say they could? And I'm sitting there going, because the Supreme Court is interpreting 2 different laws for 2 different jurisdictions. Now, don't
even get me started.
What?
On people who have no idea of the law who say shit like that.
Well, I wasn't, the person that said that wasn't even saying it to be snarky. They was like, I don't get it. I was like, well, in Wisconsin, there was a law. And so the Supreme Court...
Was this an actual person you knew?
No.
Oh.
in Wisconsin, there was a law, and
I thought this might have been a real-time discussion.
no, it was something that I heard on the interwebs.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it was two different laws from two different states. So you have to tell what the law says. That's the only job of a judge.
Oh, here's another question. Why is there so many idiots on social media? Like the level of idiocy seems much higher, or maybe it's just like really visible.
Well, it's just like how stupid people get when we're in big urban areas.
So they congregate on whatever social media network, and the stupidity just kind of like just multiplies.
No, well, this is something that
I'm not even going to say the name of the networks anymore.
that I learned a long time ago, and is the same place that I learned about discipline. But
I could have done with some of that.
the statement that was always drummed into me is like you're only as strong as your weakest link. So, when you sit there and say, why are people on this social media so stupid? Like, you're only as smart as the dumbest person. So, the dumbest person on the on your social media things that you're looking at, that's the standard.
That's pretty dumb.
Well, that's the statement of you're only as strong as your weakest link for any team.
I always regret engaging because it's just it's a no-win scenario.
Then take a page out of my book and don't engage.
Because engaging with somebody who is not going to think about anything,
Dude, there's nothing.
There's no point.
There is nothing worse than engaging with a really dumb person. Now, there are probably people out there that think the same thing about me.
Yeah.
Which in which case I'm like, haha, great. I'm glad I made your life a little bit of a hell.
Yeah.
For a little bit of a time, but it's been my experience.
So that's the only reason would be if you wanted to kind of just mess with somebody.
No, that would be the benefit of someone thinking that I was stupid. Because in my experience, there's nothing worse than having to deal with a dumb person. So if someone had to deal with me and thought that I was dumb, coming from my perspective of there's nothing worse than having to deal with a dumb person, that's my revenge on the person that dealt with me that thinks I'm dumb. You think I'm dumb? Great, I made your life shit for a couple of minutes.
Right.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, dumb people it just fucks with your peace of mind.
I suppose it can.
Yeah, it does.
Invariably. It can if you let it. Is where I was going with it.
What? Like you can just engage the mechanism and not?
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Well, it helps to be dumb, right?
I don't have that kind of a mechanism. Like I can't switch off my brain and not be stressed out about stuff.
Well, I learned it through pain tolerance. We can start that.
That sounds long and difficult.
No, it only took a couple of years.
Yeah. That 2 years that felt like 10, right?
2 years that felt like 20, dude.
Yeah, so
Dude,
I am not signing on to the pain therapy.
Did you ever count the seconds, hit 60 and go, a minute's gone by, and you're like, nope, it hasn't. You're like, what?
Only when I'm doing squats or something.
I know you're lying now because you don't do squats.
Well, some form of exercise that's not pleasant.
Again, I know you're lying. Well, actually, that's a trick statement. For you, all forms of exercise is not pleasant.
Yeah. Does walking count as exercise?
Sure it does. It's the best kind, supposedly.
I walked yesterday.
Ew.
Today I had sore knees from walking.
I have sore
fucking sand.
I have sore knees every day. And no, it's not from giving blowjobs.
What's wrong with you?
A whole lot. I got issues.
You do have issues. What the hell were we even talking about? I started off talking about Sean Connery.
Yeah, I think that's all we were talking about. That and that whole coronavirus thing, right? I mean, that's just kind of weird. Like, nothing works. According to the governments, nothing works.
Well, there were 8 states here that didn't shut down, right? Are those the states now that are where it's proliferating?
I don't know. I know Georgia didn't shut down. I saw a graph between Georgia and Pennsylvania, a state that shut down. Mm-hmm. And the infection curves and the get well curves,
same,
exactly the same. Different numbers, but the movement of the curves.
They still don't have a handle on really how it's spreading.
Oh no, I think they know how it's spreading. There's just no handle on how to stop it.
Well,
no. I take that back. I do think that certain kinds of masks would probably stop it. The mask that we're getting, not.
Well, the handkerchiefs that people fucking wear around their faces.
Again, that's all these. Like I said
Why
before.
I wear a handkerchief when I go out because I'm like fuck people. That's why.
Yeah, like I said before.
I don't mean fuck people. I'm like I don't think the masks are very effective.
Anyway, I wish you'd kind of shut up so I could say something.
All right.
I don't want to say anything anymore.
Oh yeah. You're so annoying.
I know. I do think that the mask thing is really to give people peace of mind.
That's like sacrilege to say that.
Why?
For the true believer that's really terrified.
Well, isn't that sacrilege for any true believer?
Anything that...
Right. Like if someone were uber religious in whatever religious faith they were in, and, I came in as some dude and be like, oh, that stuff you're doing is just for peace of mind and it doesn't work.
It's pretty annoying.
If we were in France, I'm pretty sure someone would try to behead me.
It depends on the person.
I guess that's a bad joke. Was it too soon? Because,
Yes.
only person that laughed was me in my head. I chuckled a little bit.
That's not funny.
Hey, man, the French need to man up. They used to be pretty masculine and virile, and I'll fight anybody. And then they just kind of...
So they didn't take down the guy?
I think they did. I don't know. But I would think that in years past, the guy getting hurt would have at least done some damage. I may not necessarily have the chops to back up my bullshit statements. Mm-hmm. Right? My mouth writing checks my body can't cash or whatever. But
Is that right, Mr. Top Gun?
That's ego. This could be another one of those situations where I think too highly of myself. But I do think that if it came to it and shit hit the fan and I was you're going to come at me man to man, if I didn't take you out and you took me out, you'd at least remember me for the rest of your life because I took so much from you while you were trying to kill me.
I wish I was that. I wish I was tough like that.
I don't know that I'm tough, dude. It could be like, dude, if someone hits me in the back of the head while I'm not when I don't see them, then that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the funny thing about most fights. They only last one punch. And if you cold cock someone, you sneak up on them and punch them in the face, it's it. It's over.
Yeah.
We've been kind of inundated with the falsity of kung fu theater on Saturday nights.
There was that video thing a couple of years ago where they were just like attacking people randomly.
Oh, like the knockout game type thing?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty easy. And the funny thing is that
those little schmucks should be like, I don't know, they should chop off a few fingers or something.
Well, I think those schmucks should be knocked out by life.
I mean, I can't think of anything worse than doing that.
I mean, not only be a big fat donut like me, but have none of the blessings from life that I've had. That's the only reason why I haven't gone apeshit. Yeah, I'm a big fat donut, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter that I can't make any money there. I'm stupid and I got no wife and no kids and no nothing.
So you must have someone looking after you, then.
I got several people looking after me as far as I'm concerned.
Out for you.
That's what I'm saying. I got several people looking out for me as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can't be as big of a big fat donut as I am, and still. Well, actually, the only person I can think of that's that's a bigger big fat donut than me is Prince Charles, and he's like, me and him are living pretty much similar lives, except he's just got more than I do.
Just a little bit. He's got big ears, though.
That's fine.
And he talks to plants.
Hey.
Apparently he likes plants better than people.
Dude, why not?
Plants don't interact with you at all.
So, dude,
if you have a conversation, it's a one-way conversation with them.
I would love to have lived that life. I mean, okay, it's a little lonely, but he got to be a fighter pilot. Mm. You got to learn how to be a fighter pilot, learn how to be a helicopter pilot. As dumb as he is, he's got like a command in the Navy. Uh-huh. I don't know how stupid he is. This is just like, rumor, right? I heard he was so stupid that at first he was the navigation officer.
Yeah.
And because he was so bad at it, they made him like something different.
He didn't know how to use a tea bag in the White House when they gave him one.
I told you that story.
I know.
And I don't find that stupid at all. That's
because he's never made tea.
Yeah, I mean, why would he have to know how to use a tea bag?
Right. But still.
In England...
so you don't know how to use a tea bag, but you would be aware that there's this thing called a tea bag
Why?
that you put
Why?
in.
If everywhere
Maybe,
you,
or
if
maybe
everywhere
he
you
doesn't watch TV.
why would you watch TV when you're the frickin' Crown Prince of Great
I don't
Britain?
know. Maybe you like watching the Great British Baking Show.
Okay, see, you who love to use that phrase, walk a mile in my shoes, clearly cannot walk a mile in anyone else's shoes.
Okay.
I mean, you seem to have like zero empathy here. Why in the hell would someone who's the crown prince, the future head of state of his country, and it's not like, and we're not talking like tiny country either. We're not, no offense to Samoa. We're not talking about being like the crown prince of Samoa. This is the crown prince of the kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Do you think he ever, when tea was brought to him, do you think it was ever brought in anything but a pot where all you had to do was pour it?
No.
That is probably the most he ever had to do. In most cases, he probably didn't even have to pour his tea.
Shit, man. Life must be hard.
I'm saying, right? So if you've never had to pour tea, or never seen it being made, why in the world would you know what a tea bag looks like? Now, I know people sit there and scoff at that. When I read that story, I was like, it makes perfect sense. He asked for tea at the White House. Somebody brought him a cup of hot water to teabag the side. He looked at it and he was like, okay. He was frickin' polite. He didn't sit there and say, where's my frickin' tea?
Right.
He just kind of looked at it and moved on.
Right.
So, all the shit that you can give him, and he rightly deserves it. In that instance, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you have a counterpoint to that, then go right ahead.
I don't.
Okay, well, that means I win. Yay!
Whatever.
Anyway, thanks for listening to our weekly shoe. And yeah, I guess next time we'll probably be talking about who the next president is.
Good Lord.